sound like it's Route 160 and north, what's the Route 25, yeah.
Okay, you're on.
Thank you, sir.
Danielle's gonna be late coming in.
Hello, folks. Welcome to your weekly meeting of the Parsonsfield Select. She's
She's gonna be late coming in.
going to be late coming. Okay, Danielle is working with a customer and will be in a few minutes. Very short agenda this week. We've approved last week's minutes and this week's agenda. And bills to be paid this week and next week, so. Only about $30,000 worth of bills this week, so. A little less expensive. We paid some ads in the shopping guide. With the planning board, site walks, that type of thing. We have our monthly report from the state police. As you remember, they took over York County. Well, not York County, they took over like 3 or 4 towns in York County, Parsonsfield being one of them. And they responded to 69 calls within Parsonsfield for the month of March. The biggest being medical for 16 calls for medical. We also had our February and March report from the Animal Control Officer. Five, six, seven, about 10 different calls. Mostly dogs, cats, goat, and a pig. The ACO and the assistant ACO attended a 8-hour training in Brunswick to learn more about animal behavior. We have the nothing from the code enforcement officer as yet. Planning board, the next meeting is April 17th at 6 o'clock. I'm sure to discuss their site walks, etc. Nothing from the appeals board. Comprehensive Committee, April 30th, 6 o'clock, they're winding up. Hopefully they'll be through within a month or so. I don't know if we had any word from on the Secaucus Road solar update.
Yeah.
Nothing?
We got word, but the word is no word from CMP.
Oh, okay.
They're as frustrated as we are, but that doesn't give anybody any word.
So I mentioned all this delay in this solar project by the salt shed there on Secaucus. The company that we are working with is still leasing the land from us, so I'm sure they're very annoyed because they're paying lease costs on nothing, in effect. And the town isn't losing any money and gaining money, so not bad for us. The monthly report from Sockeye Rescue for March. They had 80 calls in March, and they covered all 80 calls. Means that their staffing was very good. So no mutual aid, and they didn't give any mutual aid, so that's a pretty good report. The breakdown of calls: Cornish 21, Hiram 21, Parsonsfield 19, and Porter 19, so. FEMA's asking whether we've implemented our flood management plan, and I don't know, I don't think we have.
What was that, have floodplain map? I think the
It's-
planning board is dealing with that.
Well, we have to have a town vote on that.
Right.
Yeah.
I
The
think there might be.
floodplain maps are in the CEO office.
The new ones.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I remember them saying they might include that with the LD 2004.
So we have to have a vote to accept the maps as drawn or something or other.
Yeah,
There's not many changes, I don't think.
let's see. Adopt a floodplain management ordinance that meets, yeah, okay. Adopt or submit. So can we just adopt, do they have an ordinance or do we need an ordinance?
You mean they by FEMA or?
FEMA, yeah.
No, I think we have to.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll have to develop an ordinance then, okay. All right.
So they have obviously recommending the town of Parsonsfield use the preliminary and/or revised preliminary copies as the basis for adopting the required floodplain management services. And this is what we're talking about. This will be a warrant probably on the, for the town meeting.
Right. There needs to be an ordinance that goes.
Needs to be,
with that.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So that's on a. Community activities. Jen put together a nice little list as usual. Coffee well attended. Community cafe, a smashing success with 52 people. Jen, do you have any more you want to?
Our Youthful Maine Free Food Drive is this Thursday at 3 o'clock. So come and bring a shopping bag, open to everybody. And next week is the community cafe, and,
Is that sold out?
yes. Yep, sold out, it sells out pretty fast, so. That's about it.
And we have some notification of paving, light paving. I have light capital paving. Good, interesting scenario. But for next year or this year, Maplewood, parts of Maplewood Road, Elm Street, Merrill Hill Road, 160 Elm Street, so these are the areas that the state will be providing some, hopefully, better highways.
Yeah, there's some ditching associated with that too.
Yay.
I mean, we're not gonna run off at that.
Not gonna say that, but.
Well, obviously, as everyone knows, I wish, and I think we've contacted the state on this, the condition of Elm Street up by Mudgett Hill with all the trees. There's gotta be a half a dozen trees laying over wires and under wires, and just another power outage waiting to happen, so hopefully we can get some response on that.
Yeah, Elm Street is what they're talking about doing the ditching on, so.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they're gonna have trouble doing the ditching because they won't be able to get around the downed trees.
Right through.
Town clerk is finished up with her person, and
Just review. Oh, it's short and sweet.
thank you.
Thank you.
Just some updates on what's going on. Continually working on the plumbing permit information. Eric still working hard at it. He's communicating directly with Elizabeth now from the state. And we do have 2 packages he put together today, the 2017 and 2018 plumbing permits. The plan is to request the check next week and send those packets off, so.
Yeah.
TextMyGov, the survey that's located on the website, Facebook page. I do have a printout copy for the luncheon, if
Okay.
people do want
Okay.
a paper copy
Yep, that'd
to
be
do
great.
possibly. So far, we have 27 responses. I've only pushed it once on Facebook, and I'll do it again just to keep it live and so people don't forget about it. I did have a resident come in today, very excited about it. Actually, 2 residents today came in very excited about it and thought it was a great idea, and just gave us that information. They did do the survey. 27 responses so far. It's very, very positive. 95% or so want the system. Once it's completed, I can close out the survey and print out the results and also all the comments. The very last question is open for comments that they can type whatever they want. We can print that out for your consideration and
Nice.
information, so. The reserve accounts, those are basically done on my end for now. When can we meet to discuss those again?
Well, we talked about next week, but I think, Dave, you're gonna be gone next week, right? And then in 2 weeks,
I don't need to be here.
well, it involves a lot of actions back when, in fact, you were treasurer. So that may be,
Okay, yeah, fine, yeah.
Tuesday, I have a training,
On the 24th.
for the 24th,
Yeah,
yes.
and the 30th is the potential meeting with our attorney.
I don't know, but we could schedule both of those. I mean,
Yep.
the attorney meeting's not gonna be that long.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Wouldn't count on that.
Possibly, right, we don't,
Yeah, that
yeah.
could turn into a long.
Could turn into one, but it's also dependent on what's going on.
What would you like to do? Would you like to make 2 separate ones then, or
2 separate meetings to have a reserve account? Like
a reserve account
Yeah.
maybe after, the week after the attorney meeting?
Putting it into May, what do you guys think?
May 14th is the school budget vote. It would be the only conflict I have.
Is there a May date before that?
It would be.
Must be the 7th. The 14th is Tuesday.
Hmm,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm okay with that. Do you think that's pushing it out a bit, or no?
That is up to you.
All
I
right,
mean, the main
Mr.
thing is to
Mason.
get any corrections in so it's corrected by the end of the
Yeah.
year. I mean, that's.
That'll give us some time to figure out all of
Yeah.
that. So, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
May 7th?
Yep.
What time, 2?
2?
May 7th, you said?
Great. Okay. And that's really all I have. I did add to the follow-up issues. I have been talking back and forth with Chris. He was way up in Mexico today, couldn't make it. I told him within the next couple weeks if he could free up some time at some point to come in. He did get a quote for some antivirus. I said it's best if you just come in and so we can go through the whole list and if you can answer any questions. So I was trying to get him in here personally, so. Still waiting to hear back on him, so.
We still have the ability to back up all the stuff we do, right, every day, a week or something?
That,
We don't have an automatic backup right now. I'm still doing manual backup.
Okay, do we do that?
I do. Yes.
Still?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, we do that.
okay,
But what we need is an automated one.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, how does your, when you back it up, do you back up daily, weekly, how does it,
It's usually
time
weekly.
frame?
Usually weekly.
All right. So like a Monday, you'd back up the previous week type of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, automated would probably do it daily?
It would do it much more than that.
Yeah. Okay. That's it?
that's all I have for now.
And your extensive notes on the reserve account. That was a lot of work, thank you, Danielle.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, that was amazing.
Welcome.
So
Jack-
you guys didn't meet that
Hmm?
about the reserve accounts?
We did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all the information I gave them.
She's got about 6 years worth of...
Right, I saw that.
Oh, okay, we
But
did discuss that, yes.
I just wondered why do we need another meeting?
Because
Just-
there's some transfers and withdrawals that I think need to be done.
Oh, okay, okay. Yep.
She's reconciled it with
And we're
us.
trying to figure out the correct way to
Yeah,
do it
Gotcha.
also.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
Jen, do you have anything additional you'd like to add to this spectacular meeting?
Well, you know, her follow-up issues on the trust funds is something that we could mention, that we don't have boards of directors for any of these funds. Maybe one or two people on a couple of them, but it would be so helpful to have people who were, you know, willing to look at them and be responsible for some of the finances of them. Because right now, you and I have been going through some of the older material to see if we can figure out, you know, the who, what, why, and where of all of these funds. So it's interesting. There's a lot of Parsonsville history in it, but it's money that the town takes in as interest, and we don't have anybody to tell us what to do with it, because there's no board of directors, so. Just another,
Can I just clarify, and I hate to keep doing this. but
Sure.
Bartlett Doe is under this board's control.
Right.
Okay? It's not a separate board. Elijah Fox Board is appointed by this board.
Mhm.
And the last appointment was of the 3 select people at the time. I believe Ed was one, and I don't recall who the other 2
two
were.
were, okay?
Yeah, so that's really up to us. And then Piper Board is elected.
Is elected.
Yes.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
I'm just gonna say nobody has stepped forward to offer their interest in being appointed or elected, so.
Right, well,
yeah.
I mean, at the time, when the board appointed themselves, the idea was to keep that going, and they would be responsible for it. And that's fine, but if you're gonna do it, we gotta do it.
That's true.
So okay, so Ed is still on the board for,
You were here when that happened, weren't you? I'm pretty sure you were, but maybe not.
I think so. It was 4 years ago.
It was before COVID, so at least 4 years ago.
So I don't know whether they have the same length, 1, 3, 5 period of time for board members, or, but Jen's checking on that. The thing of, why this is important, folks, is, number one, these 3 people, Fox, Piper, and Bartlett, thank you,
Doe is the last name.
Doe, donated money to the town. And back in the day, it wasn't that much money, but it is quite a bit of money today. And basically, the ground rules were, you have a board of directors, a treasurer, appointed, elected basically, period of time. You can't spend the principal, but you can spend the interest towards the school, and that was when the school was in East Parsonsfield, North Parsonsfield, the seminary. It was pretty confusing back in 1900. So we have an opportunity, because the money sits there and we're trying to figure out exactly how much interest we have, but that interest can be spent towards the schools and to help reduce taxes. So that's what we're trying to find out, what all these trust funds entail and how much they are, and getting a board up to speed so they can make some decisions and help the town. So it's a pretty interesting, go back to 1900 and someone gets $2 to help do something.
Debbie wanted to say something.
So,
Fox, I'm showing in 2019. Ed Bauer, David Bauer. I got initials here, so Jesse Stacy and Tiffany were voted onto the Fox.
so you must have been the secretary treasurer then.
But, hold on, I think it was only to the town meeting 2020.
And nothing happened. All right, folks, so that's, not much, but some interesting stuff there. We, you have anything, you don't have, do you have anything? I forgot to ask.
I
What
did
can be
mention-
left?
Exactly, I'm good. I think I've said everything I,
Dave, you got,
Say.
you
Yeah, I
always
got a
have
couple
a...
of things. Under the time flies category, I emailed PowerPoint, our generator supplier, telling them that we were getting a maintenance required notice. And I got an email back today that says, well, we'd be glad to schedule your maintenance if you sign up for a maintenance agreement. Because the first year of maintenance was free. And lo and behold, it was quite a bit over a year ago that generator
Was it really?
Yeah. So, I have a quote from them, and I'll need to talk to them again. There's a silver plan for $385 a year, and a gold plan for $540 a year. They both include a major service, and the gold plan also includes a minor service. So, I guess I need to know what is appropriate for the
Do
generator.
we have a lead plan or a...
Yeah, so I'll need to talk to them further, but we probably want to do that, since I don't think anybody...
You think we should stay with the same vendor, or is there someone else that can...
I don't have any ideas.
No.
service a generator, I
Yeah.
don't know either. I guess I think I'd like to hear you talk to them and,
Yeah,
yeah.
I need to talk to them, and, I mean, I don't have a problem with others coming and talking to us, but we need to get something going, because
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
it does, and this is an annual contract, so we wouldn't be signing up for more than a year. Okay, so, I'll let you know. Other things that we at least touched on earlier are people wanting to take wood from the right-of-ways on the roads, and people asking if we have plans to clean up any of the down limbs and brush, and where they can take stuff for disposal. So, all I'm doing is bringing it up, because I don't have any good ideas. I don't imagine we're planning on going through the whole town and cleaning it up.
No, I don't know where...
I know Maya mentioned something about bringing things over to the salt shed in the, on the south side. But we have to talk to him more to see
Yeah.
where and
Yeah.
what. And I don't know if that's gonna be open to the public for people to bring, or how that works, so. And then there was a question of, was it DEP or?
Are those,
Chipping.
are those the piles he's measuring for FEMA?
Yes,
So,
we hope so.
I hope so. I've already started the
Okay.
process with them, so.
So,
All right, so we have to,
we should get together with Maya,
and figure out where, or if,
yeah, what his intention might be, and see if that concurs with anything that we have in mind. And then,
I'll text him today, because I do need to know for FEMA reports, what, exactly where and when.
okay,
Yeah.
he may be out of range.
He's available.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
out of range.
He knows he was out of range.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's the end of my list.
Okay?
And I've got one question.
Yes.
On the Elijah Fox, those are the CDs.
Yep.
One is maturing at the end of the month. Is that something the board wants to look at before it matures and goes back into the same bank earning no interest? Or is that something we want to look at and maybe another bank could offer a lot more like last time?
Because that's a Bangor
Yeah,
Savings Bank,
absolutely.
yeah. I was gonna go
Okay.
talk to them and see
Yep.
what it is we need to do as a board to have access to any of that information. But if you're already listed,
Right,
you might be able to just find out.
because this would be
Now
a
we
good
have
time to
this
do
about-
it, and there would be no penalty or anything. This would,
Right.
yep, okay.
There's like 6 CDs involved or
Yeah,
something?
Right,
Lily?
and this one, yep,
So this is just one of them?
just one of them. And it's
So
earning.
a plan would be that we designate a new bank, and as they mature, put them into the new bank. So
Yep.
there's no penalty, just
Technically, yes.
a transfer.
It's
Okay.
just due on the 30th, that's all, so.
Could you check and see what our current CDs for our town bank?
Yeah, I think, didn't you print that out?
I did, of course, I left it on, I'll
Okay,
read
no
over.
problem,
Yep, that-
no problem.
It just so happened, we talked about it,
Yep.
and I got notice today, so,
Okay.
yep,
And CDs are not necessarily significant, whatever we'll pay really is.
okay.
Exactly, and they are earning
So,
minimal.
there.
Yeah, well, I know,
Yeah.
they have been for a long time,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great, thank you.
All right, folks, well, thank you very much. And we'll see you next week.